Not even Kamala Harris's biggest fans can say what the flip-flopping vice president stands for. Look, I'm going to ask you guys, what does she stand for? So let's check this out real quick. Hopefully this is, let me see, hold on. So yeah, of course we got to listen to, or just have this ad playing up here because why not, right? It's the same reason why you guys watch ads on my page, because somebody got to get paid out here and somebody got to pay. And it's better for the advertisers to pay than you guys, right? That's why. All right, so this is about 26 seconds. So I'm curious as to what all they put in here in 26 seconds, but we about to find out together.
Can I say I love you and I love you? But as a campaign hack, no. She should be talking to the voters.
Man, why is it always the same archetype of individual, always just loving everybody? This is the fuzzy wuzzy police. Look at him. We got a nice little, you know what I'm saying, fuzzy wuzzy cotton tip rabbit tail hairstyle. Why is that, man? How many people tired of that? Shout out to Hob. What's good with it, bro? Appreciate you, John. Throw some like enforcers in the chat for John.
Oh, I just want to tell everybody that I love them. I love you guys all so much.
Like, why? I mean, the way that love is given out these days, it kind of makes sense why you don't have to earn it anymore, right? Based on human behavior. This is observations. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say I love you and I love you? But as a campaign hack, no. She should be talking to the voters and barnstorming the way they do. Again, I personally when I love you all, but I don't want her talking to you all right now. She should be talking directly to the voters and going across the country and doing that.
Well, there is risk in talking to us. There's no doubt about that, Amy.
I don't know what that was supposed to prove. Oh, the Democrat pollster defends Harris shunning media. Don't want her talking to you. Now, here's the thing, right? He said that she shouldn't be talking to them because she should be spending time with talking to her constituents. But the only problem is, as far as her talking to her constituents is, has anybody seen her do like a Q&A? Has she done? She's not really doing any Q&A sessions, is she? I haven't seen that, at least. If she is, I'm not aware of it. Supporters of Vice President Kamala Harris are rallying behind her campaign despite admitting they can't say where she stands on most big issues. That's a complete that right there. That is a huge problem. Because what that does is that sets a precedent that shows that as a politician, you don't have to deal with issues and you will still be able to get a competitive base of voters. This right here, this is, to me, if you ask me, this is more indicative. I get the critiques on Kamala Harris. I understand it, right? However, Kamala Harris's issue, if you ask me, is that she's an incompetent performer. This right here is an issue that sheds the light that voters, many of them, are incompetent human beings. This isn't really a Kamala Harris problem. This is a opportunity for Kamala Harris to exploit, and she is exploiting it. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Somebody somewhere, because we know she did a SWOT analysis, and somebody saw, here's a threat. Everybody's stupid. Here's an opportunity. Everybody's stupid. And here we are. You know what I'm saying? Here we are. As the Democratic nominee continues to flip-flop on major policies, which basically means that there's no if you're allowed to unapologetically flip-flop, what that means is that you have transcended the realm of accountability. Would you guys agree? If you all agree that not being held to a standard and being allowed to flip-flop means that you have transcended the realm of accountability. That literally means, for the most part, that you can do whatever you want to without recourse. Once you've established that just you being you is enough to win people votes, and that you can do what you want to without recourse, what that means is that at that point, you don't have to do anything for those people. That's the downfall of people voting for Democrats for the last 60 years. Because with that consistent pattern and the absurd and nauseating amount of loyalty, right? The probability of people moving in a different direction is very low. As far as quality control goes on black votes, I bet you they don't even do no type of quality control analysis, because they already know anything greater than 51% is a majority. Them getting 70, 80, 90% of the black vote, that's not even strategically advantageous. There should be some people that just sit out just to keep the majority as low as possible, so we'll be able to have a margin of swing if we want to, mathematically. But there's not an organized strategy, so you don't really see that happening. And I don't know why there's not an organized strategy. I couldn't tell you, but there's not one, and that's the reality that people need to deal with. Once something has been noticed that it's not there, continuing to complain about it not being there is futile. The only sensible next action is to create it. That's it. And since it hasn't been created yet, what that says is that at this point, for whatever reason, despite all of the things that we see going on in the world, it for whatever reason has not yet become a top priority. Things are top priorities when they're made to exist. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. You can always tell what's not a top priority if you look at what's on somebody's list of things to do versus on their list of things that they've accomplished. That right there is the raw, objective way of seeing what somebody's priorities are. Accomplishments versus to-do list. I want to go back to school, but I bought this nice house. I own the house, but I still got to do some other things to get back to school. Well, you could have used the house money to pay for your tuition. So you'd rather own this house than you would rather go to school. Like, stop talking around these things. This is the living in two realities paradigm that has people's brains looking like Joe Biden at the debate. That does not work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You cannot simultaneously exist in two states. We don't live in a quantum reality. You know what I'm saying? We don't. So now here it says Harris, who is 59, reversed her stances on energy issues, healthcare, illegal immigration since replacing Joe Biden at the top of the Democratic ticket in an apparent effort to make herself more electable to moderates in key swing states. Now, let me ask you guys this question. She's an adjustable candidate. Would you guys say that? Kamala Harris is an adjustable politician. She's an adjustable. She'll adjust to whatever will help her win. How many people associate integrity with adjustable values? Now, mind you, you guys heard that, right? Adjustable values, flexible values. That's my term. I just made that up. You know what I'm saying? Who feels comfortable with adjustable people? Let me ask you guys a question. What if you got married to somebody and you said, I'm adjustable on fidelity? I'm okay with being faithful to you until somebody that got what I really, really like comes along. Then if they're open to what I got to say to them, I don't know if I really be feeling fidelity all like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, something might just happen somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody would really be comfortable getting into a relationship with somebody like that. But for whatever reason, people feel like getting in a political relationship with somebody like this. It doesn't make any sense. Let's ask about Kamala Harris's political fidelity. Shout out to John. And he ain't gonna be the only one. He ain't gonna be the only one. Swagger jacking is at an all-time high on YouTube. It is what it is. These people that got big channels should just keep doing what made them big, if they still can. You know what I'm saying? But maybe that's why they don't. Because they can't. That's a whole nother issue. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go through all of the political infidelities. And that's another term that I just made up. Type it in the chat. Political infidelities. Adjustable values. Adjustable integrity. Flexible integrity. So let's look at these political infidelities. Harris abandoned policy positions. Look at this. Now, I want you guys to pay very close attention because whoever wrote this, they wrote this article with ChatGPT and they didn't spell check it after ChatGPT made spell orders. Harris abandoned policy position. Oh, Harris's abandoned policy. Okay, never mind. That's me. My mistake. Include her pledges to eliminate private health insurance. All right. Decriminalize illegal border crossings. How many people are cool with that? Ban fracking for oil and natural gas. And ban the sale of new gas-powered cars by 2035. Each of those made in 2019 when the then California senator was seeking the Democratic presidential nomination. In recent weeks, the Post has spoken to several swing state voters who plan to cast ballots for Harris. The majority of them painted a vague picture of what the vice president stands for: pro-choice and the environment. Now, here goes my question. What has Kamala Harris said about the environment? What has she said about the environment? Yo, shout out to John for standing on business, growing the family, growing the organization. Definitely appreciate it, bro. Make sure y'all show John some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for John for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
And standing on business.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
You see that? That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Bowling. You know what I'm saying? Added 5 new $1,000 memberships. All them 5 people, I don't know if y'all aware, but y'all gonna be getting $1,000 debited out of your bank account every month. I hope you got it. Hope you got it. Hope you got it. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
I'm rich, biatch.
Making it where I can't see the drop that's playing. It had worked for a quick second and then it stopped. It had worked for a quick second and then it stopped. So now, see, and now everybody, all y'all that got memberships, now y'all be able to see the videos that's on members only, waiting to get approved by YouTube for monetization. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to chat when we do members only, or when we got people that's trolling in here, because y'all know how we do when we troll. When they troll, when people come in here and troll, then they gotta pay to say everything that they want. You know what I'm saying? Now it turns into pay for play. So now you got a gifted membership, so now you still be able to talk because somebody else paid so that you could play. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, but the main reason they're backing Harris is because she is not former President Donald Trump, which, if you ask me, that's not a good strategy. How many people think that that's a good strategy? It's a bad strategy. That's that whole enemy of my enemy is my friend stuff. I don't necessarily agree with that, even though it comes from the great art of war. You know what I'm saying? Immigration. I would love to say I believe she is more moderate in terms of immigration, in a sense that she's not like let's let everyone in. Aaliyah Dittman, a 20-year-old college student from Clarion County, Pennsylvania, told the Post when asked about Harris' position on the border and immigration. But I feel like she's kind of similar to Biden, added Dittman, a first-time voter excited about Harris. And that's the difficult thing. As she is still the vice president, she has to pull herself apart from the administration and say, this is what I stand for. And maybe she hasn't done a great job doing that. I don't know how you can do that. And one of the reasons why she hasn't done a good job doing that is because all of her old policy positions literally come right out of the Biden administration playbook, the literal actual Biden playbook. And I'm talking about the Inflation Reduction Act and the CARES Act. These are literal Biden era playbooks that Kamala Harris has taken policies and expanded on. The one for the $25,000 down payment for the house. The quote unquote attempted management of price gouging. All of those. She literally got those out of the Biden playbook and expanded on them, which means that they're no different. They just offer more money. Maybe a few lines or give or take a few lines of policy. Then let's not mention she's been taking some of Trump's stuff, the tips and all that. How many people in here trust a flip-flopper? If you trust a flip-flopper, give me a thumbs up. If you do not trust a flip-flopper, then give me a thumbs down. That right there should be the question. And everybody knows the answer to that question. The answer is that most people do not trust or depend on flip-floppers. Because being a flip-flopper, being inconsistent, and being undependable are all very closely related. I wouldn't say that they're all exactly the same, but I would say that they're all very closely related. And they're closely related based on not being consistent. The only consistency that Kamala Harris has is inconsistency. Inconsistency is not necessarily the best consistency to have. As a matter of fact, inconsistently consistent is the very pattern that creates the illusion of chaos. Because if you ask me, chaos is not random. Chaos is simply an undetectable pattern, which means that it's not detected because there's so much uncertainty involved, and the actual pattern is the repeated uncertainty. So Kamala Harris is chaotic, predictably unpredictable. The one thing that you can predict about her is her inconsistency and unpredictability. Those are indicators that can help you manage that risk. So to say that that's something random is not mathematically accurate. They can't discuss these things in these terms because it would be horrible for her. There'll be no justification on any of her political career. You know what I'm saying? Harris previously supported decriminalizing border crossing illegally, opposed Trump's wall, and oversaw Biden-Harris administration policies that let in more than 8 million migrants. Now, she says she's for the wall and wants to hire more border agents. Now, if past behavior is any kind of indicator of future action, based on the past 4 years, what could we say about a future 4 years of Kamala Harris? Let me know what you guys think. So here's the flip-flops. They created a color-coded chart. How nice of them. Out, no fracking. In, I want to win Pennsylvania. Green New Deal, no tax on tips. Open borders. I'll guard the wall myself. I don't know what she's going to do except for maybe laugh at people and maybe they get scared and turn around and run away because they, you know what I'm saying, they think some type of predatory animal is there waiting to attack after they heard the noises. Mandatory gun buybacks. If you like your gun, you can keep your gun. Socialized healthcare. We don't talk about it or anything else. So there's that. Okay. Dittman also recalled that Harris at the National Democratic Convention talked about the border deal that Trump had told Republicans to shut down so that she would bring that back. Now, mind you, that deal still had a quota of immigrants that it allowed to cross the border daily, if you guys recall. Okay. Similarly, she couldn't define Harris's stance on immigration and wasn't hesitant to say the vice president flip-flopped on the issue. Now look at this. I think she's staying true to herself. What does that even mean? If she's staying true to herself and her true self is a flip-flopper, you still want to vote for this lady? Honestly, I can't give you a well-rounded answer because I haven't seen her flip-flop. The employee at the Fairfax, Virginia school said. So again, this is what I'm talking about. Again, I got to ask the question, is this a Kamala Harris issue or is this an American population issue? This actually, if you ask me, this puts the spotlight on American people. This puts American people in the public eye, in the global eye of being a majority idiot nation, a majority delusional nation. I mean, you can't make this up. Can you? I haven't been that invested in the news, but what you're going to do is go vote for her. I'll tell you what, if you like to gamble, go to Las Vegas. If you like games of chance, go to the gas station and get a scratch-off ticket. If you want to play with probability and not have any information behind the probability, but you can actually still get information about those things because you can download the lottery app and it'll tell you what tickets still got jackpots, so you just don't buy games that don't have jackpots. But you know what I'm saying? People don't do that because people don't research anything. So why would anybody research that kind of stuff? Unless you have an alleged quote unquote gambling problem, which is interesting because they don't call studying a gambling problem. All of these things are done to reduce probability, to reduce effects of uncertainty. These people are literally just embracing uncertainty and saying, well, I don't know anything, but I'm just going to do this. Now, I was always taught to make sure that I planned and had contingency plans. I don't know if the new generation of people that are younger than me are actually doing that nowadays. Quite frankly, I hate to say it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to help me anyway or not. You know what I'm saying? But for their sake, it might not be a bad idea. It might not be a bad idea, but I don't think that's part of like the culture anymore, to raise people to what we used to call back in the day, prepare for a rainy day. How many people parents told them that? Make sure you got something put away for a rainy day. Your grandmother come grab you. Come give me some sugar now. Come give me some sugar. Make sure you got something here. I'm going to give you a little something before you leave. Take this, put it away for a rainy day now. How many people grandparents said that to them? They give you a little bit of money. Everybody happy to go to their grandparents' house because they know they're finna get some good food and some money. You don't hear that no more. And the reason why you don't hear that anymore, for the most part, if you don't hear it, is mostly basically non-existent anymore. People are living in the moment nowadays, as if that's some type of way to live. You know what I'm saying? So she hasn't been invested in the news while interviewing a news agency. But from what I've seen, knowing about her beginnings as the Attorney General of California to where she is now as the vice presidential candidate, she always seemed to stay true to herself. Again, what does that mean? What does that mean? Staying true to yourself. Somebody tell me, what does that mean? She's just true to herself. Is she? What is true to herself?
just like a woman. Because some of you niggas, you be acting just like a woman. Nigga, Reaper, keep it 1,000.
I'm just saying. I don't know what she's doing. I don't watch the news. I don't know anything. But the one thing that I do know out of the nothing that I know is that she's just true to herself.
Just like a woman. Because some of you niggas, you be acting just like a woman. Nigga, Reaper, keep it 1,000.
I guess. Shout out to the Reaper for keeping it 1,000. Kamala Harris ain't. She's not keeping it 1,000. What does true to Kamala Harris look like? True to Kamala Harris looks like existing in multiple dimensions and in simultaneous realities at the same time, where you can literally be massive amounts of different people doing opposite things. That's what that looks like. Looks like a funhouse mirror. Because how do you do it? Somebody explain how this looks. Explain how this plays out. Explain the criteria on which she changes position. Again, it's a different story if she comes out and says, I looked at this study, that study, and I've noticed XYZ changes over time. She didn't give any explanation for any of these changes that she had. There's a difference between flip-flopping and actually giving an explanation. Okay, well, this study just came out, and I've studied this study. I looked at things substantiating it, yada, 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 you know what I'm saying? And basically, you know, I think I'm going to change course on this because I was convinced by the evidence that was presented to me from XYZ study. To me, giving an explanation like that is not the same as flip-flopping. Flip-flopping is literally going for whatever is good in the moment without any substantive research other than how the switch benefits you in the situation. That is my definition, and I'm pretty sure that's the generalized definition of flip-flopping. You got to give these definitions, though, because we live in the intellectual dishonesty era, and there'll be somebody that will be screaming on a video, literally saying that Rob said that flip-flopping is okay, because we can make sound bites and take little video cuts on TikTok, and because the same people that vote for Kamala Harris and say that she's just true to herself are the people that undyingly support social media content creators. They're all like lemmings and seals and will clap using their wrists bent down, hitting their wrist bone together. Because that's the kind of society that we've created, cultivated, and modernized. A modern day sea world. We live in an actual sea world with dolphins and people clapping fins and all kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. Except for in this sea world, the animals are training the people. You know what I'm saying? In this sea world here, the animals are training the people. You got Shamu teaching people how to clap. Shamu sitting there talking about clap. Like, for real? Seriously? People ought to be ashamed of themselves of how dumb they are. You know, you can look at somebody and tell somebody might be a little bit out of shape. It's not until somebody opens up their mouth that you can tell if their brain is out of shape or not. They can always hide that until they open up their mouth. And that's one of the reasons why they don't want Kamala Harris to open up their mouth. That's why they're trying to come with these excuses for her to not hit the debate.